In this video, let me show you what we can do with orchestral colors against maybe some much more expensive libraries. I composed this as a challenge where you have to write a composition where you are only allowed to use a note and its fifth only in a given octave, except at the end where you can build up to some cadence. So this is my cadence here. Let's listen to it here, synthesized, and we will listen to it using orchestral colors and how I actually did it, and we'll take it from there. So there you go. Okay, let's see with the orchestral colors. So I have my cello playing. It's only the same note or the same two notes. Well, it doesn't really matter if it's the bass or the cello. It's supposed to be cello. I have the choir. So instead of a piano, I replace it with a choir. I do want to say I increase the reverb and the size of the room in both cases for the cello. And I use the outrigger microphones so that the cello can come from the sides. But that wasn't enough because this was recorded in a small room. So what I ended up doing is, if you look at the cello, this is the real cello. I'm not sending the audio to the speaker. I'm sending the audio to the right and left tracks. And I'm panning them to the right and to the left. So you get cello left and cello right. So that's how I got that cello sound to come from the left and right. I don't want to duplicate the same track because, you know, it can get louder, and if you miss anything, if you change any notes, you can get phasing issues. For drums, this is from, of course, the one and only one, SpitFire Albion 1. Let's listen to it. Okay, that gives a good idea on how it would sound like. Now what I actually used is the Hans Zimmer strings, 60 cellos. By the way, I bought this library when it was on sale. I am also using my favorite choir for these kind of things, Lacrimosa from 8Dio, 8Dio, where you can actually write a line here for the vocals and they will sing this line. So I separated what they sing into 3 tracks. And the third one. Now let's listen to these ones. Now I also added just a texture grid for the beginning, so I'm going to add it just for fun. So I just want to mention that I noticed the Hans Zimmer strings by SpitFire is really nice to work with in combination with Lacrimosa from 8Dio. This library is really powerful library. Now what happens if we mix and match? So let me put the choir from here, although I think the actual choir is changing the whole song, but let's use the bass from Hans Zimmer and the choir from ImpactSoundWorks Orchestral Colors. So maybe you notice when I change this to this articulation instead of staccato, I think it sounded more tight and compact, but I don't get these vowels. Now let's just once for all, let's play it as intended with this library, because I changed the articulation, and I'll end the video after.